Okay, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my 1 month postpartum update, kind of like from when I gave birth to now, how I'm doing and how everything healed and stuff like that. But this is Remington. He's 1 month old already. It's crazy how fast it goes. I feel like I was just in the hospital yesterday having him. But this is him. Friends, also I'm going to be talking about postpartum depression / baby blues, like the emotional side of postpartum that a lot of people don't like to talk about or don't talk about in general. So this is Remington. I had him on March 30th. His due date was April 18th. So he was 3 weeks early. And he was 6'13", so that's pretty good for 3 weeks early. His lungs were all good. Everything was super good. And he's growing very well. He's eating formula and breast milk, and he's just growing very fast. So, anyways, to start the recovery process, when I very first had him, my labor went very fast, and I only pushed 3 times for him to be here. So I did end up tearing upwards, which was terrible. I'd rather have anything else than that. And I got a few stitches. I'm not sure. I can't really remember how many. So I did end up getting a spinal. So right away after, I felt great because it was numb down there, so I didn't feel any of the stitches or anything, or the cramping in my stomach, all that. So right away I felt great. But once the spinal wore off, after a few hours, all the pain hit me at once. So the pain from the stitches, the pain from pushing, and the cramping, because your uterus is shrinking back together. So I had really, really bad cramping in my stomach, and I was bleeding very heavily. So right away it was bad in the hospital. I couldn't really sit down very much, and I was breastfeeding on top of that, so cramps so bad, like labor cramps. It was horrible. And every single time I breastfed, I got that. So he was like breastfeeding every hour and a half to 2 hours. So it was very painful the first 2 days in the hospital. So we were traveling to Ohio, because that's where my family's from New York. So it was like a 7.5 to 8 hour drive. A little less than a week after he was born. So that was a very painful drive, and I had to sit on a donut, So I had to sit on one of those, and that kind of helped a little bit take the pressure off. But again, it was very uncomfortable for where the stitches were, and hard to sit really on anything. So So I sat on one of those, and about a week later my bleeding started to really lighten up, but I was still in a lot of pain from my stitches. They were starting, I think, to dissolve. I'm not too sure because I didn't really want to look, but they were very painful. And once 3 weeks hit, my bleeding completely stopped, but I was still in a lot of pain from where my stitches were. I was still in a lot of pain for where my stitches were. So I shouldn't have had to wear a pad because I wasn't bleeding, but the stitches were very painful for just regular underwear, so I ended up wearing like a panty liner, and that really helped. Also, I had to wear one because if I did a lot of activity, like pick up Mason or something like that, then my bleeding would get heavy again. Not heavy, but it would start again a little bit, so I've always had something on. So after that, the cramping I had from breastfeeding lasted like, I would say probably 3 weeks, maybe, or 2 to 3 weeks until the cramping stopped with the breastfeeding. And I was very glad that stopped. I was taking ibuprofen for that, and now I don't have to take it at all anymore. So how I dealt with the pain right from leaving from the hospital was I would use those frozen diapers, put them a little bit of water, and put that in your pants. So that really helped a lot too, like the cooling, but it didn't last long. So, and then the spray they gave you, the Dermaplast spray or whatever it's called, started to irritate me. Didn't help at all. So, it was just very uncomfortable and painful for the first few weeks of recovering. But now, like I said, he's a month old now, and I have no pain at all anywhere. My stomach doesn't hurt. I'm allowed to work out now, so I actually started working out yesterday, and you can do everything now. Work out, I can use tampons if I want to, anything. So I have not started my period. That's another thing. Because I am breastfeeding, they say it can take like 6+ months before you get your first period. So I am going to have my first postpartum appointment, and I did have an appointment actually a few days ago because they wanted me to fill out this thing for the postpartum depression, and I'll get to that in a minute. But for my 6-week appointment, they said they're going to just do another screening like they do in the very beginning for the STDs, and it's just like a standard thing they do for everybody, and a pap smear just to check everything, make sure everything's healing properly, and check my stomach, like feel on my stomach to make sure everything went back to the way it's supposed to. And that is in a few days, so maybe in one of my next videos I'll talk about what happened there. And also I'm going to be getting the birth control. The birth control I'm getting is the non-hormonal copper IUD because I do not like hormonal things. Like, I won't take birth control if it's gonna cause me to change it all, because I just don't like that. So my office actually has a copper IUD that's non-hormonal, and that's what I'll be getting. That's what I got after I had Mason, and it lasts for 10 years. You can get it taken out, obviously, if you need to, and it's real easy to get in, doesn't hurt at all. So that's what I am going to get, and that's pretty much it for the 6-week check. Now, to talk about postpartum depression. Now, if you are feeling any symptoms of postpartum depression, do not be afraid to tell your doctor. I know a lot of women are afraid to talk about it because they think that their doctor's going to think they're an unfit mother, can't take care of their kids, they're scared of something like that. But, because honestly, that's how I was with my first, and I never said anything about it, really, never got any medicine for it, because I was just like, I don't want anyone to think that I can't take care of my kids, and he just threw up on me. I don't want anyone to think that I can't take care of him and stuff like that. But this time I started feeling the postpartum depression, which is like, you know, not wanting to get up and do anything, not feeling excited about stuff, just feeling sad and crying for no reason at times. And I felt that starting, so I was like, I'm gonna tell my doctor now, I'm gonna get it fixed before it gets worse. So he prescribed me the Zofran 50 milligrams. And actually, I haven't started it yet. I got it a few days ago, and I read a lot of reviews on this that said it like makes them super dizzy, makes them like clench their jaw, made them gain a lot of weight. So, you know, I feel like if I'm already getting depressed and if I gain more weight, it's just gonna make it even worse. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait because my appointment's in a few days, and I'm gonna talk to my doctor about the side effects, see if they can put me on anything else, or if she just wants me to try it for myself. But literally every single review is bad and negative on it. So that is what they prescribed me for that. But another thing that's been helping me is I get up every morning, and first thing I do is take a shower, do my hair, try to do makeup if I can, obviously with the baby. And that does seem to help because it makes you feel motivated, you know, clean a little bit, just like kind of force yourself to get up and do something, and it actually does help. I know I really don't want to at the time, but when I start, I'm glad I did. So that's it for the postpartum depression side of it. For my stomach wise, it did shrink down a lot. I'll put a side by side of what I looked like literally like 2 days before I had him, and then what I look like a week after. So that was like a week after. I don't really see any changes. I'll show you my stomach now, but I don't really see any changes from then till a week. So I am working out, I'm doing cardio and stuff, and I am eating healthier. I cut out sugar and pop and fast food, stuff like that, just because I am breastfeeding, so I still do need to eat extra calories a day. So I will show you my belly. My spelly. Ew. Ew. Okay. Let me sit. Okay, so this is my tummy. I do have stretch marks right here, and I do still have that line on my stomach. I do still have this line right here, and I did get some stretch marks right here. That's my stomach from the side. Oh, what's the matter? From the side. Okay, I will still do, I will do monthly updates of, like, myself and my process in losing weight and toning up my stomach and stuff like that. To do monthly updates on him and how he's doing. So, he's so cute. Uh-oh. Okay, so that is pretty much it for my 1 month postpartum. That's all the symptoms and stuff that I can really think of or remember. So I guess I'll just see you in my next video. Say bye, Mason.
Bye.
Bye.